Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to a report by Daily Express US, a massive Russian air assault on Kyiv has completely destroyed a major Ukrainian Red Cross humanitarian warehouse. The overnight attack, which lasted for 11 hours and involved waves of drones and missiles, killed at least 21 civilians and damaged dozens of buildings across the capital. The destroyed warehouse served as a central logistics and distribution hub for humanitarian aid programs across the country. The strike wiped out approximately 320,000 relief items valued at more than $1,764,719. Among the lost cargo were emergency supplies provided through the EU Civil Protection Mechanism, including generators, heat pumps, stretchers, defibrillators, ultrasound machines, and vital sign monitors. Additionally, critical reserves of blankets, bedding, hygiene kits, and emergency plastic sheeting meant for rapid response to shelling and evacuations were completely incinerated. Moscow stated that the devastating bombardment of the capital was in retaliation for recent Ukrainian strikes on Russian oil facilities. Red Cross officials emphasized that the destruction of this vital facility has dealt a severe blow to the country's humanitarian infrastructure, directly impacting the timely delivery of life-saving aid to thousands of war-affected citizens. According to UPI, South Korea will provide 14.9 trillion won, $9.7 billion in emergency financing, along with expanded tax and trade insurance support to assist small and mid-sized enterprises struggling under the pressure of a weak won and rising raw material import costs. The comprehensive support package was announced during an emergency economic meeting chaired by Koo Yoon-choo, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance and Economy. Under the plan, the government will redirect 13.8 trillion won in unused policy financing capacity, originally established for the Middle East crisis, and add 1.1 trillion won in new funds. Key measures include low-interest stabilization loans, enhanced trade and currency fluctuation insurance, and tax payment deferrals. Additionally, import insurance premiums will be discounted by 50% through April 2027 to lower entry barriers for smaller firms. The South Korean government emphasized that the total funding pool could be expanded further if necessary, committing to a continuous review of economic challenges to help vulnerable companies navigate exchange rate volatility. According to a report by Lianhe Zhaobao, Greenland's self-ruling Premier Nielsen stated during a public event in France that the United States is continuing to apply serious and unacceptable pressure in an attempt to acquire Greenland, but declared that the island is absolutely not for sale. Nielsen emphasized that Greenland will not relinquish its right to self-determination or its core values. He noted that while direct dialogue with the U.S. is the correct path to resolve issues, Greenland is also eager to strengthen cooperation with like-minded European nations in key sectors such as critical minerals, energy, and hydropower. Greenland is an autonomous territory of Denmark, possessing a high degree of internal self-government. Since Donald Trump's return to the White House in 2025, he has repeatedly expressed his desire to acquire Greenland, a stance that has strained relations between the U.S., Denmark, and other European allies. However, U.S. Ambassador to Denmark Howry previously stated that Trump has ruled out the use of force to take over the island. According to a report by Lianhe Zhaobao, French President Emmanuel Macron announced on the social media platform X that the French aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle is sailing back to the port of Toulon in France. The aircraft carrier had been deployed to the Middle East in May to prepare for a multinational escort mission in the Strait of Hormuz, led by France and the United Kingdom. Macron stated that a recently signed memorandum of understanding between the United States and Iran represents a major step forward for regional stability. Consequently, France is adjusting its military presence in the Middle East. While the Charles de Gaulle is currently in the Mediterranean, French minesweeping forces and other escort vessels will remain in the Middle East, ready to cooperate with international partners. The U.S. and Iran reached their agreement on June 14th, agreeing to ensure the safe passage of commercial vessels through the strategically vital Strait of Hormuz. According to a report by People's Daily Online, China is set to significantly lower its retail gasoline and diesel ceiling prices starting Saturday. The National Development and Reform Commission announced that the prices of gasoline and diesel will be cut by 950 yuan, about $139, and 915 yuan per ton, respectively. This adjustment marks the third consecutive price cut and represents the largest reduction in domestic fuel prices in nearly 6 years. Experts attribute this sharp drop to falling international crude oil prices, which have eased from recent highs following a de-escalation of tensions in the Middle East and a gradual recovery of shipping through the strategic Strait of Hormuz. For consumers, the price cut is expected to bring immediate relief, saving private car owners approximately 40 yuan per full tank of gas, while truck drivers could save around 400 yuan per tank. The National Development and Reform Commission has urged major domestic oil companies to maintain stable market supplies and strictly implement the new national pricing policies. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.